The stars were quiet for a long time. For 500,000 years, no one from the Jarketh Empire had visited the small blue planet called Earth. The Jarketh were an old and powerful alien race. Long ago, they had found Earth, explored it, and then left. They thought the planet was not important, too weak to grow. So they left, traveling to other worlds. But now their great ships were coming back. High above Earth, in the cold darkness of space, the Jarketh fleet moved slowly. The stars shone cold and far, but the planet below shone bright with lights. Cities glowing like fireflies on a summer night stretched across the continents. The Jarketh pilots watched the planet with surprise. "Is this the same world we left?" one pilot asked his captain, voice low and filled with doubt. The captain did not answer immediately. His sharp eyes scanned the screens. The planet's signals were clear. Machines working, cities alive, people speaking in many languages. The Earth was no longer empty or weak. It was alive and strong. The Jarketh ships had been built for war and conquest. Their armor was strong, their weapons deadly. But now they felt something strange. Uncertainty. The planet they thought was weak had grown in power and knowledge, and they did not know what to expect. "Prepare to land on the surface," the captain ordered. "We must learn more." Below, on Earth, no one saw the ships arrive at first. The huge silver crafts moved slowly through the sky, silent and calm. They were bigger than anything humans had ever built. Scientists and military officers around the world watched the signals from space, puzzled and tense. At the United Nations Space Command, experts studied the alien ships. They did not look hostile, no weapons fired, no attacks made. But no one could be sure of the aliens' intentions. A meeting was called immediately. "Are they here to fight?" a young officer asked. "Maybe," an old general replied. "Or maybe they are just curious." The head of the Space Command, Director Malik, stood tall and calm. "We have no choice. We must prepare for both, defense and diplomacy. We must show strength but also wisdom." Meanwhile, the aliens sent small scouts down to Earth. These small ships landed in empty deserts, forests, and oceans, gathering information. The scouts watched cities, learned languages, and studied people's behavior. What they saw was different from what they expected. Humans worked together, helped each other, and built great machines. They traveled to the moon, sent robots to Mars, and invented devices that made life easier and safer. Their science was fast and smart. Their culture was rich and full of stories, music, and art. The Jarketh scouts returned to their fleet and reported. The captain listened carefully. "The humans have grown," the captain said. "They are not simple creatures. They have strength in many forms, mind, body, and spirit." "But why did they grow so fast?" one officer asked. "Maybe because they never gave up," the captain answered. "They faced dangers from within and outside their world, yet they survived. That shows power." Back on Earth, people started to notice changes in the sky. The stars looked different. Strange lights moved slowly. Cameras and telescopes around the world focused on the visitor ships. At a research station in Hawaii, Dr. Lila Chen watched the skies through her telescope. She had studied space for decades, always hoping for signs of life beyond Earth. "This is real," she whispered to herself. "They are here." Her phone rang. It was the Space Command. "Dr. Chen, we need your expertise. Can you come immediately?" She packed her things quickly and headed to the command center. On the way, she thought about the history of Earth, the wars, the peace, the science, the art. She hoped that this meeting with the aliens would bring a new chapter. At the command center, Dr. Chen met Director Malik and a team of scientists and military officers. The room was tense but hopeful. "Dr. Chen," Malik said, "we have confirmed the identity of the ships. They belong to the Jarketh Empire, a civilization that visited Earth long ago but left." The room grew quiet. The name Jarketh was known in old records and myths, but no one believed they would ever return. "They think Earth is still a weak planet," Malik continued, "but our data shows otherwise. They are cautious, maybe even afraid." Dr. Chen nodded. "Humanity has changed a lot in 500,000 years. We are ready to meet them." The next day, a message came from the Jarketh ships. It was simple and clear, sent in a universal code. We seek peaceful contact. Prepare your leaders. The world held its breath. On the alien ships, the Jarketh, Captain looked at the message. His eyes were sharp but thoughtful. We will meet them, he said. But we must be careful. The humans have changed. We do not know what power they hold. In the following hours, Earth prepared for the first meeting with the ancient visitors. The world's leaders gathered, and scientists prepared to communicate. The people of Earth watched the sky, wondering what the future would bring. Would the aliens be friends or foes? Would Earth's strength be enough? One thing was clear. After 500,000 years, the universe had come back to look at Earth, and Earth was ready to show what it had become. The day had arrived. After centuries of wondering, dreaming, and preparing, Earth was about to meet the Jarketh again. The great alien ships hovered above the planet, large shadows against the blue sky. All eyes turned upward. Inside the largest ship, the Jarketh captain prepared for the meeting. His skin was pale blue and his eyes sharp like stars. Around him were the best of his people, diplomats, scientists, and warriors. But none looked relaxed. The unknown was always dangerous. Today, we meet a world we once called weak, the captain said quietly. We must be careful. Below on Earth, a team of leaders and scientists waited at the Space Command headquarters. Among them was Dr. Lila Chen. She had spent her whole life studying the stars, hoping for this moment. But now, as she stood in the command room, she felt nervous. The room was filled with quiet energy. Cameras showed the great ships outside, and the world was watching live. A large screen lit up with a message. It was the Jarketh again. We come in peace, the message said. Let us meet and learn. Director Malik nodded. This is our chance to show who we are. A few hours later, a small alien ship slowly descended to a specially prepared place in the desert. The landing was smooth and calm. A crowd of soldiers and scientists watched as a door opened. From the ship came 3 Jarketh, tall, with long arms and deep eyes. They moved carefully, taking in the new world around them. They looked curious, not threatening. The humans approached slowly, showing open hands to show they meant no harm. Dr. Chen was chosen to speak first. Welcome to Earth, she said. Her voice was calm but strong. We are glad you came. One of the aliens stepped forward. His voice was clear, but it sounded strange to human ears. We are called the Jarketh, he said. We visited Earth long ago, but we left. Now we return to see how you have grown. Dr. Chen smiled. You will see that Earth has changed. The aliens looked at the people around them. They saw the machines, the buildings, and the confident faces. It was not the weak planet they expected. A long talk began. The humans showed pictures of their achievements. Cities powered by clean energy, machines that flew in space, hospitals saving lives, and schools teaching children everywhere. The Jarketh listened carefully. They asked questions about Earth's history, its culture, and its future. We faced many dangers, Dr. Chen said. But we worked together. We learned from mistakes and grew stronger. One alien diplomat raised a question. Your people have fought many wars. How did you survive without destroying yourselves? Lila answered. Because we learned that cooperation is stronger than conflict. We have not stopped fighting problems, but we choose peace when we can. The Jarketh seemed impressed but also thoughtful. They were used to ruling with power and fear. Here they found strength in unity and kindness. Later the aliens showed their technology. Their ships were faster and stronger than human vessels. They spoke of great empires and many worlds under their control. But when the humans explained their discoveries, new energy sources, fast space travel, and advanced medicine, the aliens began to see Earth as a future rival, not a simple planet. At one point, the conversation turned serious. We did not expect this, the Jarketh captain said quietly. You are stronger than we thought. Lila smiled, but said, Strength is more than weapons. It is also in mind and spirit. The meeting ended with a promise to continue talking. Both sides knew this was only the first step. After the talks, the Jarketh held a secret meeting. The captain and his advisors spoke in low voices. The humans are not like before, the captain said. They have grown fast and well. We must be careful. One advisor nodded. Their technology and spirit make them dangerous. We should watch them closely, the captain said, but we should also learn from them. Meanwhile, Earth's leaders discussed what to do next. Director, Malik said, they came back expecting an easy visit. But we are not the same. We must show the galaxy that Earth is strong and wise. Dr. Chen added, This is our chance to build peace and protect our future, but we must stay alert. Across the world, people watched the sky with hope and fear. The ancient visitors had returned, but Earth was ready to stand tall. The Jarketh ships remained in orbit, silent watchers above a world full of life, courage, and endless possibility. The Jarketh fleet stayed above Earth like silent giants. The ancient aliens watched the planet's activity closely. They saw people moving freely, ships flying to the moon and beyond, machines working to feed millions, and cities full of life. The Jarketh had not expected this. In the grand hall of the largest Jarketh ship, the captain stood before a large holographic map of the galaxy. He was surrounded by his advisors, wise and old beings who had lived many cycles. They were restless. The captain's voice broke the silence. We must understand how Earth grew so strong. 500,000 years ago, this planet was primitive. What changed? An advisor with silver skin and eyes like liquid metal spoke. Earth has faced great dangers, but its people adapted. They learned and they evolved faster than we expected. The captain nodded slowly. But how? Their weapons are advanced, their minds sharp, their spirit unbroken. This is not the weak Earth we knew. Another advisor stepped forward. It is their unity. Unlike many worlds, Earth's people found strength in cooperation. Their history shows wars and conflicts, yes, but always they rise again. The captain frowned. And their knowledge of the stars? Their machines? They have pushed beyond their planet, reaching the moon and Mars, and sending probes far into space. They have harnessed energy in ways we did not expect. The captain's thoughts returned to the recent meeting with humans. He remembered the calm confidence of Dr. Lila Chen and her team. Their words stayed with him. They do not fear us, he said quietly. Instead, they offer friendship. Yet we sense power beneath their words. The advisors agreed. The humans were not only strong but wise. They had learned that power was not just in weapons, but in knowledge and spirit. Back on Earth, Dr. Chen and her team worked to share more about humanity's journey. They showed the Jarketh the history of Earth's civilizations, how people struggled with nature, with each other, and with themselves. They spoke of the great wars that almost destroyed the planet, the dark times of fear and hate, and the moments of hope and change. They told of science that healed, of ideas that united, and of dreams that reached for the stars. The Jarketh listened carefully. They saw something they had never understood before. Hope that survived against all odds. One Jarketh scientist asked, How did your people survive so many dangers? How did you avoid destroying yourselves? Dr. Chen smiled. Because we learned that survival is not just about fighting. It's about understanding. We grew because we believed in something greater than ourselves. Peace, knowledge, and the future. The aliens exchanged looks. Their own history was filled with conquest and control. They ruled many worlds with fear, but here was a race that rose by choice, not by force. In a quiet room on the Jarketh ship, the captain spoke with his closest advisor. We thought we were the strongest, he said. But Earth has taught us that strength is more than power. It is hope. It is will. It is unity. The advisor nodded. Perhaps we were wrong to leave Earth. Perhaps we should have stayed and learned from them. But it is not too late, the captain said. We must change. If we do not, we risk losing to the future they are building. Back on Earth, news of the revelation spread quietly among leaders. The humans realized they were no longer the small and weak planet in the eyes of the galaxy. Director Malik said in a meeting, "The Jarketh see us differently now. They fear us, not because of hatred, but because we show what a future can be." Dr. Chen added, "This is our chance to lead, not by force, but by example." The world listened. Slowly, people understood that Earth's strength was a new kind of power. It was not about destroying enemies, but about building a future together. Meanwhile, in the Jarketh ships, a new idea grew. They would not try to conquer Earth again. Instead, they would watch and learn. They would change. And Earth, for the first time in many thousands of years, was no longer just a planet. It was a symbol of hope, of power, and of a new beginning. The silence in the Jarketh command ship was heavy. The great halls that once echoed with pride and power now carried whispers of doubt and fear. The captain sat alone, staring at the glowing image of Earth below. The planet looked peaceful, but in the captain's mind a storm was growing. "This is not the same Earth," he said softly. "This world has changed beyond all our knowledge. Their strength, it terrifies us." Around him, the senior leaders gathered in a secret council. The oldest and wisest spoke first. "We left Earth when it was weak," said Elder Threx, his voice deep and rough like the sound of stones falling. "We thought it would never grow strong enough to challenge us. But it did," another elder said. "We see cities that stretch to the sky, machines that travel beyond the stars, a people united by something more than power." The captain nodded. "They survived wars that would have destroyed most worlds. They faced dangers no other race could. And still, they rose." A younger officer frowned. "Are they a threat? Should we prepare for war?" "No," the captain answered. "War is not the answer. If we fight, we lose. They are too strong in mind and spirit, but their strength makes us afraid." The council debated long into the artificial night. Fear had never before entered the hearts of the Jarketh rulers. They were conquerors, leaders of many star systems, yet now they were unsure. "What do we do?" asked Elder Threx. "We must watch," the captain said. "We must learn from them, and we must protect our empire." He looked at the glowing Earth once more. If they grow more powerful, they could change the balance of the galaxy. Back on Earth, the leaders knew the aliens were uneasy. The Jarketh ships still orbited silently, their presence both a threat and a mystery. Director Malik met with Dr. Chen and other scientists. "The aliens fear our strength," he said, "not because they hate us, but because they do not understand us." Dr. Chen nodded. "They see power only as domination. But our strength is different. It comes from unity and hope." Malik smiled faintly. "We must show them that fear is not the way. That strength can be gentle and wise." The Earth governments agreed to continue talks, but they also prepared quietly for any danger. The world's armies trained, and space fleets readied themselves. But the message was clear. Earth would not be the first to strike. Meanwhile, in the hidden halls of the Jarketh fleet, fear grew into respect. The aliens began to realize that Earth's strength was a challenge to their old ways. "Perhaps we have been wrong," said one young officer. "We ruled through fear and war, but the humans show us a different path." The captain listened. "Change is difficult, but if we do not change, we risk destruction." He made a decision. "We will not attack. Instead, we will seek a new way to live with Earth. But we must be careful. Trust is earned, not given." On Earth, the people watched the sky with mixed feelings. Some were afraid, others hopeful. Children looked up at the stars and dreamed of friends from distant worlds. In schools, teachers spoke of the new visitors. "They come from a long past," they said. "And now, they see what we have become." Dr. Chen spoke at a global conference. Earth's strength is not just our machines or weapons. It is our spirit. We have survived because we believe in each other and the future. Her words spread hope. They reminded people that fear could be changed by understanding. The Jarketh. Captain watched the world below, thinking deeply. This planet has taught us something we forgot, he said. Strength is not fear. It is courage to face the unknown and build a better tomorrow. As the stars shone above, two civilizations, one ancient, one young, stood on the edge of a new chapter. The fear was still there, but so was hope. And, in the vast silence of space, Earth shone brighter than ever before. The world held its breath. The presence of the Jarketh fleet, so large and so old, was a constant reminder that Earth was no longer alone. But unlike the fear that once gripped humanity, this time there was a quiet strength growing. The people of Earth understood that this was more than just an encounter. It was a test of their spirit. In the halls of the United Nations, leaders from every nation gathered to decide the next step. Director Malik stood at the center of the room, calm and steady. Beside him was Dr. Lila Chen, who had become the voice of reason and hope for the world. "We cannot meet fear with fear," Malik said firmly. "The Jarketh have seen our strength and are afraid. It is our choice now. We can show them who we truly are." Dr. Chen nodded. "Strength is not in weapons alone. It is in our will to survive and build a better future. We must reach out, with open hands, not clenched fists." The decision was clear. Earth would offer the Jarketh a chance, not just for peace, but for partnership. A special team was formed to prepare a message. It was unlike any communication before. The message would explain Earth's history, its achievements, and its hopes. It would invite the Jarketh not as conquerors or enemies, but as equals. Meanwhile, the Jarketh watched closely. The humans' confidence was new and strange to them. They did not respond with anger or fear, but with calm strength. On the queue, bridge of the flagship, the captain studied the human message carefully. It was honest and open. It spoke of past struggles, of unity, and of dreams for the future. "This is unexpected," the captain said. "They do not seek war, but alliance." His advisors looked at each other, surprised but hopeful. "We must respond," said one elder. "This could be the start of something new," the captain agreed. "We will accept their offer, but we will proceed with caution." Back on Earth, the world watched as the Jarketh ships lowered a small delegation to the surface. The meeting place was prepared with care, a neutral zone where both sides could speak freely. The humans waited as the alien delegates stepped out. The air was thick with anticipation. Dr. Chen stepped forward and spoke first. "Welcome to Earth. Again. We offer friendship and a chance to learn from each other." The Jarketh captain nodded. "We have seen your strength and your spirit. We are ready to listen and to share." What followed was a conversation unlike any before. The two civilizations exchanged knowledge, stories, and hopes. The Jarketh told of their ancient empire, their mistakes, and their fears. The humans shared their journey of survival, growth, and peace. The talks were not easy. There were moments of doubt and old fears, but both sides wanted to build trust. As days passed, the Jarketh began to see Earth not as a rival, but as a partner. The humans' courage and wisdom shone through every word and action. One evening, as the sun set over the meeting grounds, the captain and Dr. Chen spoke alone. "You have shown us a new way," the captain said. "A way of strength through hope and unity." Dr. Chen smiled. "It is the way we have chosen. We believe the future belongs to those who build, not destroy." The captain looked up at the stars. "Then perhaps our paths are not so different. We too seek a future worth fighting for." With that, the first real step toward a new alliance was made. Back in orbit, the Jarketh fleet began to change. Ships that once carried weapons now carried scientists and diplomats. The old ways of fear and war started to fade. On Earth, people celebrated quietly. They knew this was only the beginning. But it was a beginning filled with hope. Director Malik spoke to the world. Today we stand not just as humans but as members of a greater community. Together we will face the unknown and build a future worthy of our dreams. And as the stars watched silently, Earth and the Jarketh took the first steps toward a new dawn, one where strength was measured not by power alone but by courage, wisdom, and the will to grow together. The galaxy seemed quieter than before, but on Earth and aboard the Jarketh ships a new kind of energy filled the air. Hope. After centuries of fear and uncertainty, two very different civilizations were stepping toward a future neither could have imagined alone. In the great halls of the Jarketh flagship, the captain stood with Dr. Lila Chen. The room was filled with images of Earth and the stars beyond. The long conflict between old fears and new hopes had begun to fade. "We once ruled with fear," the captain said quietly, "but you have shown us a better way. Strength not from war, but from understanding." Dr. Chen smiled. "Earth has learned that survival is not about fighting alone. It is about working together, even with those who seem different." Around them, the Jarketh began to change. The ancient empire that once thought of itself as the galaxy's master was now open to new ideas. Scientists shared knowledge, diplomats built bridges, and warriors learned patience. On Earth, the people watched the skies with wonder. The great ships no longer seemed like threats, but like symbols of hope. Children looked up and dreamed of a universe where different worlds could live in peace. In the days that followed, Earth and the Jarketh worked together to build something new. They shared technology that could heal planets, protect worlds, and explore deeper into space. Joint teams of humans and Jarketh traveled to new stars, seeking knowledge and friendship. The old stories of conquest were replaced with tales of cooperation. Earth became a beacon, a shining light in the darkness of space. Director Malik addressed the people of Earth in a message broadcast around the world. "Today, we do not stand alone. We stand with friends from beyond the stars. Together we will face whatever challenges come our way. This is a new dawn, not just for Earth, but for all who seek peace and growth." The Jarketh captain nodded as he listened. "Our empire will never be the same. We have learned humility, respect, and the power of unity." And the galaxy listened. Not all were pleased. Some among the Jarketh and other alien empires saw the change as weakness, but Earth and its new allies stood firm, showing that true strength comes from courage and heart. One night under the vast sky, Dr. Chen and the captain spoke quietly. "What comes next?" she asked. "The future," he replied. "A future we will build together." As stars twinkled far away, Earth and the Jarketh reached out, not with weapons but with open hands. A new age of friendship and discovery had begun. The universe was vast and full of mysteries, but now, two civilizations were ready to face it side by side, and Earth, once thought weak and small, had become a shining star among the infinite lights of the cosmos.